Once upon a time, in the shining city of Troy, there lived a little princess named Helen. Helen was loved by everyone, and her joyful laughter filled the air. Her father was the powerful king of Troy, and they had a huge library in the palace. Helen loved spending her time in this library, losing herself in the magical world of books. One day, Helen found a book with pink flower patterns on the cover. Curious, she opened it and read about a hidden treasure in a magical forest. Her eyes sparkled with excitement, and she thought, "I must find this treasure." The next morning, Helen put on her favorite flowery dress, slipped on her tiny shoes, and placed a daisy crown on her head. She left the palace eagerly and set off toward the forest described in the book. Along the way, chirping birds accompanied her, and colorful butterflies danced around her. The butterflies playfully landed on her nose, and Helen smiled at them, saying, "Hello, my little friends." After a long journey, Helen finally reached the entrance of the magical forest. Enormous trees stood at the entrance, their leaves shining like gold in the sunlight. Inside the forest, Helen found a world even more beautiful and magical than she could have ever imagined. Little bunnies hopped along, guiding her path, while birds sang songs from the branches. With every step, Helen felt the thrill of discovering this enchanting world. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Helen came across 3 large giants. The giants had serious expressions on their faces, but Helen wasn't scared because she knew they would only ask her wise questions. The first giant, with a voice like thunder, asked,
"What is the most valuable treasure?"
Helen smiled and replied,
"The most valuable treasure is wisdom because it grows when it is shared."
The giant smiled, pleased with her answer, and stepped aside. The second giant, with an even louder voice, asked,
"Where does courage shine?"
Helen thought about the butterflies and birds and said,
"Courage shines in difficult times, when we overcome our fears."
The giant was happy with this answer and made way for her. The third giant, with a calm voice, asked,
"How does love overcome obstacles?"
Helen, thinking of a little bird returning to its nest, answered,
"Love overcomes everything when it comes from the heart, because love always finds the right way."
This answer softened the giant's heart, and they allowed Helen to reach the treasure. Helen found a large chest. Inside the chest, instead of sparkling gold, there was a very special scroll. This scroll held a magical message that would bring happiness and peace to Troy. Helen took this magical message and returned to the palace. Along the way, the birds flew with her, and the bunnies hopped joyfully by her side. When Helen arrived at the palace, the people welcomed her with great happiness. Everyone learned how brave, loving, and wise Helen was. And from that day on, the people of Troy told this story to their children, keeping Helen's memory alive. Hello! I hope you liked my story. It would make me really happy if you subscribe to my channel and like my videos, my friend. Take good care of yourself. See you in another great story. Goodbye.